Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Shara Prophet, and I am the founder of Open Door Hypnosis and the Bee Magic School. Today, we are going to talk about your divine right to defend yourself and to protect what is yours. Give me 1 second to make sure that Facebook is doing everything that it needs to do. All righty. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturn Day. For those of you that know what that means. All right, let's jump right into this. Before I get started, I will be posting later on today an invite to an open class pass, meaning I am going to allow people who have been interested in the Mystical Money Mastermind. I'm going to allow you all to come in and sit on one of our classes, okay? There's going to be a specific date that you will have access to the class. So I will be sending out that invite here on Facebook. And also, if you're on the email list, you will get notified through the email list as well. Also, I'm going to be doing a very special ritual, hypnosis ritual. I haven't done a hypnosis ritual in years, but they are very powerful. So if you are interested in it, then you will also be able to tap into that as well. That one is going to be for a price, but the coming in to audit the class, the Mystical Money Mastermind class, that is complimentary. All right, so as you come in, say hello and feel free to share this video if you feel so inclined to anybody who you feel may be get some benefit from it. So you have a divine right to protect and defend yourself, right? Now, 9 times out of 10, most people are going to defend themselves. If you walk up to somebody and smack them in their face, 9 times out of 10, they're going to smack you, punch you, pull a knife or something, right? So this is, I mean, it's human nature to automatically defend yourself. However, you do have some people out here who have been indoctrinated, and they are living their lives according to a specific belief that has been taught to you as a way to keep you from standing fully in your sovereignty. Okay. I'm not going to get all up into biblical text and scripture and all of that type of stuff, but you all can get a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about, right? You know, if somebody does something to you, sometimes we hear that you need to just stand back and just let some sky daddy or, unseen deities or spirits do the work for you and take care of that. Now, I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. It absolutely does happen. Okay. There are there are forces and opposing energies coming at you every single day, especially if you are someone that has said yes to a specific way of living, a pathway, or what have you. Okay. Especially if you are in these magical streets, yeah, people are sending things your way, especially if you're on, social media, you're a public figure, and you're seen by people who you don't even know. You're absolutely receiving, or not even, you may not feel it, but things are coming your way all the time. And there's things that come your way that you're not even privy to, and they get stopped, they get blocked, those people get handled, and you don't even know that that is happening, right? So that's absolutely a real thing. I'm not poo-pooing on that at all. But when you do feel the slap, when you do feel things coming at you, or somebody is in your face doing something, you have every right to defend yourself and protect yourself, however you choose to do that. Now, my way of doing that would be on the back end. Because see, I feel what happens in the spirit realm is 10 times more powerful and more potent than what happens down here in the earthly realm. So I may not physically do anything to you, but you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it in a way that you wish you never had done anything. You understand? And see, a lot of people won't fight back because they feel like they don't have the hands, right? They're not physically prepared to have a real fight with their bare hands. So a lot of people won't do it. But if you're one of those people who does not know how to fight with your bare hands, or you're like me, you know how, but you don't want to mess your nails up. You ain't trying to, you know what I mean? Then you need to understand how to work the energy on the back end. And you have every right to do that. And this is the part that I'm talking about when we back away from working with our own energy and we back away from utilizing our God-given talent, gift. We have the authority to use our energy because somebody called it witchcraft, or somebody said that's, it's evil for you to work your energy and work your magic. Are you crazy? When folk out here doing it every single day, and I'm not supposed to tap into my own energy to defend myself and to make sure that me and mine are good? No. I mean, I've had people say, why don't you just let God handle that? Why don't you just let, and I'm like, maybe God is handling it through me, right? If I believed in an external deity, I don't believe in something external to me. Okay. I believe in a creator. I believe that there is a force, an energy, a presence that we all have access to that lives and breathes inside of each and every one of us. And we have the authority and the right and the capacity to tap into that divine energy. And we get to use it however we choose to use it. Hey, Tanita. Okay. And if you don't know how to use it, you don't know how to do you, but this is the thing, you really do know how. You really do know how to do it. You just scared to do it. You're just scared to tap into it. And some people are afraid to tap into it because they're afraid of what they can actually do. Some people are like, I don't even do that because I already know what I can do. You just need to learn how to manage it and tame it. Okay. Don't not tap into your power, especially during the time that we are in right now, the way the energy is going, the way the timeline is moving. This is the time for everyone, everyone. And I know not everyone is going to do it, but this is the time for everyone to tap into their internal power. Get to know your power, get to know what you can and cannot do. Get to understand that on a very deep level. You need to train yourself how to be about it. Train yourself how to be about it, baby. It is not hard to do. And I was forced to do it because I was one of those people that was like, you know what? I don't do anything to anybody bad. I don't mess with nobody. I mind my business, and I'm always, nice and helpful and loving and kind. But do you know that that pisses people off? Do you know that pisses people off? Do you know that being who you are makes others feel small and inferior to you? And because that feeling of inferiority and smallness, because that does that to them. What it does is it triggers something inside of them. And instead of them looking at themselves and saying, whoa, why am I feeling like this about this person? I don't even know this person from a can of paint. Why am I all of a sudden having feelings about this person? And all I've ever done was see them on the internet. Most people are not doing that. They're not stopping and asking themselves the right questions. Instead, what they're doing is they're getting angry and they're getting all up in their feelings and feeling disconnected from source. That's a disconnection from source. When you feel like you need to go out and send energy some way to somebody, and everybody's not burning a candle, everybody's not putting you in a graveyard, everybody is not doing, you know, some sort of practical magic on you or some kitchen magic on you. Some people are, but not everybody. Some people are just sitting there looking like, this bitch get on my nerves. That right there is sending you evil eye. Okay. Somebody's saying that they wish that something would happen to you. That goes through the airwaves. And if you don't know how to protect yourself and you don't know how to navigate these spiritual streets during a time of heightened spiritual warfare, because believe me, we are in spiritual warfare. We are. Look at everything that's happening on the planet, and you're definitely in spiritual warfare. Okay. And for some of us, there's never been a time that we were not. Depending on your bloodline, depending on the experience that you decided to have coming into this earthly realm. Some of us have been in a spiritual war since the time we were born. But when you do yourself the service, the highest service of saying, well, wait a minute now, what can I do to protect myself so that I am no longer under attack? What can I do to make sure that even though people may be sending stuff my way, that I don't get affected by it, it doesn't hit me as hard? Once you start asking those questions, then the resources start coming to you. Either you get downloads from your spirit team, or you're led to somebody who can help you, or you start reading a book, or you start meditating on it and you start getting ideas of how you can protect yourself. Okay. Sometimes you're led to a certain resource or a person who can teach you these things. But you have every right to defend yourself. All magic is the manipulation of energy. And guess what? You manipulate energy every single day. If you cook, you manipulating energy, baby. You're practicing alchemy when you cook. When you go in the kitchen and you chop up your vegetables and your meats and all of that stuff, that's a form of alchemy right there. You're breaking things down. The moment you season your food, the moment your food hits hot grease or a grill or boiling water, you are manipulating energy. Okay. It's best at this time, right now, it is best for you to learn how to manipulate energy with intention and strategy and structure and a process, right? It's better for you to learn how to manifest with intention, okay? Instead of just letting your mind go all over the place and everything and anything is happening in your life. And I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just rolling with the punches. You're not taking authority over the experience that you're having in your life, and you have full authority to do that. You have a divine right to not only protect and defend, but you have a divine right to stretch, bend, slow down, and stop time and speed it up. Like, you can do all of those things. Do you know that? You can do that. The stuff that we see on these TV shows, where you have like these superhumans and things like that, right? That stuff doesn't come from nowhere. We don't know how many actual superhumans are in existence on this planet. Because some of us have tapped into it, whether you did it intentionally or whether you had some tragic trauma that awakened it inside of you, and now you don't know how to control it, so you do have to learn how to manage it, okay? If you feel like you are being bullied, like out in the open, is in your face, if you feel like somebody is attacking you, your living in situation is unhealthy for you, there are things that you can do to manipulate the energy, to shift and change your experience. If you can't physically move out, there are other things that you can do to ensure that you are protected, to ensure that that stuff doesn't happen anymore. There's things that you can actually do. And you don't have to, quote unquote, practice black magic to do it. Okay? You can utilize your mind to do certain things. And a lot of you have. You just didn't know you were doing it, especially when you were kids. You did certain things to help you dissociate from whatever the activity that was happening that was traumatic for you. Okay? Or you did something or thought about something in a way that you stopped it from happening. I want you to think back to a time when you were a kid that maybe you grew up in a dysfunctional household. Things were happening that wasn't supposed to be happening at school or at church or at your babysitters or what have you, right? Think of a time where you stopped it from happening, or you took yourself outside of yourself so that you didn't have to have the full experience of it. You didn't have to fully be invested emotionally and be mentally there. You took yourself out of it mentally and emotionally, but the body stayed, right? Whatever it was. So you have the power to do certain things. And now that you are an adult, you have even more power, right? You have even more power now. We are in a time where we can no longer just sit back and expect somebody else to swoop in and save us. You can't expect some politician to do it. You cannot expect the police to do it. I mean, I live in LA where it was a time where they were telling tourists don't even come, because if you call us, we ain't coming. Don't come here. In some cities, the police won't even come to your rescue if you call them for certain things. Your safety net, your proverbial safety net, is being yanked away from you. And that is happening for a purpose. That's happening because it is time for us to tap into our innate power. Now, everyone is not going to do that. So whomever this message is for you. If it ain't for you, it ain't going to get, you're not even going to see it. You'll never even know that it existed because it's not for you. But for those of you who know you've been getting the call, you've been feeling like you got to do something different, that it's time for you to really tap all the way into your power source, which is you, the highest, truest form of you, then you know it's time for you to tap in. You know it's time for you to get busy. Here's the other thing that I want to say. We give so much credence and credit to these so-called powers that be, right? Whatever you want to call them. which means we're giving a lot of power away to things that we feel are bigger than us, have more power than us because they got money, because they are in Congress, because they are on, they're some sort of celebrity, or they are a politician, because they, are the leader of some big organization or church. They the CEO of the biggest organization that's a, multi-billion-dollar industry. Who cares? Who cares about? Stop giving these people power. The way you give them power is by saying that they are the powers that be. No, they're not. What power do they have for real? The real power that they have is us believing that they're more powerful than we are. That's the power that we give to them. That's the power we give to them by saying the powers that be. Oh, the Illuminati this, the elites that. You are elite. You are the Illuminati, baby. Do you know what Illuminati means? It means the illuminated one. That's all it means. That's all it means. Illuminated means you have an elevated, you are able to elevate your thought. You're able to tap into powers and beliefs that are not common for the common person, right? The common person is not that they're not able to, they just don't do it. But we give so much importance and credit to money. Anybody, they got a big bag, all of a sudden they're special. It's something different about them. They're doing something that everybody else can't do. This is our downfall as a society. This is the reason why you got so many victims coming out now, right? Because they bowed down for so long to these people who were larger than life, that they thought were larger than life. Because the people who caused the harm, or the people who we called the elites, fed off of our energy because we bowed to these fake deities, that we deified people. That's what we've done. We have deified people. And because we've deified them, they are so drunk with power because they done slurped and ate and off of our energy, because we gave it to them. We've willingly, they didn't come and snatch it from you. We gave it to them. So when I say you have every divine right to protect and defend, it's not just your home or your person or your possessions or your family or anything that's physical, right? It is also your energy and your power, your time, your attention, your focus, your money, the magic that you didn't even know you had, you have willingly given it up. And now it is time for you to call it back to you, protect it, and defend it at all cost. What do I mean by this? This is something as simple as this. If you feel yourself being pulled too much into a story that you're reading on the internet, whether it's a rap beef or some sort of scandal or some political issue or something that happened in this church and this priest did X, Y, and Z. If you feel yourself being overly invested in that, it is time for you to call your energy back, place your protections up, like amplify reinforce your protections. And that alone is you defending your energy. You're defending your power. You're saying, absolutely not. You don't get none of that. That's mine. I will scroll and I'll read little stuff and I'll listen to stuff here and there, but immediately afterwards, I call my energy back to me and I don't allow myself to get I used to get sucked into certain things. But that's when I realized what was happening. And I'm like, hold up. The only reason why these so-called pseudo powers that be have the power that they think they have is because we give them permission to have it. We tell them that they're powerful. Or they've said it so many times that now we believe it. Why? Okay, let me tell you something. Why do you think these musicians, anybody that's a public figure, even influencers, why do you think they're constantly telling you that they're the best? They're the top. Nobody can do what they do. They're the only ones. Those are suggestions. And if I'm daily listening to Jay-Z tell me that he's the best rapper of all time over music, and I don't know what hertz of music he uses for all of his music, but let me tell you something. There are certain hertz at which when you listen to it, the way it affects your molecules and your DNA and your belief system. This is why I tell people you need to understand what hypnosis really is. Y'all think it's some woo-woo stuff and, oh, it's just to help you quit smoking. Because people are like, oh, that's what helps you quit smoking. I'm just looking at them like, girl, you're getting hypnotized every day. You're being hypnotized every single day. Whether you want to be or not, you are being hypnotized. It takes you 2 to 5 seconds to go into a light state of hypnosis, which will open you up and make you susceptible to certain suggestions. Okay. Now, the pseudo powers that be, they understand this science. So that's why you see it in commercials. That's why you see it on printed ads. That's why you see it on social media, on your screen. This is how they're able to find out what you like so they can show more of it because you've been hypnotized long enough. 2 to 5 seconds is all it takes for them to learn your behavior patterns. And you developed your behavior patterns because you were in a state of hypnosis when you developed it. You developed your belief systems, the way you think. Okay. All of that when you were in a hypnotic state. When you do not understand this stuff, you become a slave to everything around you. Your defenses come down. This is part of the hypnotic induction, y'all. This is all a part of it. This is the whole hypnotic process, okay? This is why I offer free classes to teach you to understand this stuff. It's up to you to do something with it. Your best defense and your best protection is understanding where your weak points are. Why do you think companies spend billions of dollars not on advertising? Most people think that companies spend the most money on adverts, right? Or advertising. They spend a lot of money there, right? But I'm gonna tell you where the top money is going to. Security. Security. This is why when I was really first getting into technology and really studying it and understanding it, this is why there's a lot of folk going over into cybersecurity. because it's such a secure job, because everybody needs to make sure that their stuff is protected and secure, right? Protected from hackers. Do you know that they will hire hackers to hack into their system to find the weak points so that they can tighten up security, tighten up their protection, and defend what's theirs? You got to do the same thing. You need to take time out to find out, where are my weak points? Where, and the way you could even look in your life and see where your weak points are. You can look at the out picturing of your life to see what needs more defending, more protection. Okay. We just wrapped up 12 weeks of War Paint, the art of spiritual warfare. And it was amazing. Amazing. We go deep into all of this stuff. Okay. Because, like I said earlier in this video, I was the one walking around thinking that I'm so nice and I'm so kind and I mind my business. You know, I don't really get into a lot of stuff. I don't start things with people, so no one should have a problem with me until people had a problem. Okay. Most of these people, I didn't even know who they was, child. Some people I thought we were cool and we're not. We weren't. And I couldn't understand why, because I was always just being me. I had to figure out for myself how to protect myself, how to defend what is mine. I had to learn. I had to learn alone. I won't say alone, because of course I had my spirit team guiding me, but I didn't have a human being saying, this is what you do A to Z. This is why I created the War Paint class, because I was like, yo, if I needed it, I know somebody else gonna need it. And I wish I had somebody who was trustworthy to show me what I needed to do. Okay. But even if you don't want to take a class on it, just do yourself the high honor of just looking at your life and seeing what is slipping through the cracks here. You know what I mean? Like, what is it that I need to adjust? Where do I need to fill in the little cracks in my foundation? Because see, this is the other thing about any type of spiritual attack, right? And when I say spiritual attack, it doesn't always mean it's coming from a human being. It's usually 99% of the time, usually it is coming from a principality, some sort of energy or entity that utilizes a human being as the vessel through which they can act through. Sometimes this stuff has been attached to your bloodline, and you just ain't took the time out to sit and find out what it is and how to clear it out of your bloodline. Healing is your first line of defense. That's the first line of defense, is healing. That's why I taught the War Paint next alongside of the hand spells class. That's exactly why I did them both like that. So the people who were in those classes, as they were going through the whole spiritual warfare process, they were also building themselves up and strengthening themselves and fortifying their foundations and clearing out the bullcrap so they don't have to keep fighting. Who wants to keep fighting all the time? You don't have to always fight. If you know how to energetically and spiritually prep yourself, you don't have to worry about being on the battlefield. Oh shit, here they come again. Somebody else trying to mess. Somebody always messing with me. I'm always having to fight. I'm always having to defend myself. I'm always around people who don't like me. There's a reason for that, baby. That's the reason why. Okay. And the energy inside of you, your subconscious energy, loves you so much that it will allow you to continue to have the same experience over and over and over and over and over again until the light bulb goes off and it's like, oh, this is why I keep having this experience. I got to go in and do X, Y, and Z. I need to go in and clear some things. I need to go in and clear my bloodline. I need to go in and clean my house. Some of you all have somebody that been in your house and left something there and is wreaking havoc in your house and you don't even know about it because you're not tapped in. When you tap in and you stop for a minute and you're like, what's going on here? Why is this happening? I guarantee you're going to get a nudge to go check in your closet and look in that purse that's way in the back of your closet. And there's something in there that you didn't put there. It could be as simple as you just need to throw some protections up around your computer and your phone, your device. But if you're not sitting with yourself and you just focusing on the bag, getting up, going to work every day, just gotta pay these bills, come home, go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing every day. If you are if you're a robot or a zombie, you won't know what needs to happen in your life. You'll just keep going through the same thing over and over and over again. And the reason you go through it over and over again is because it means there's something trying to tell you something. Something is trying to tell you something. But you got to get still enough to check in and find out what it is. I don't have a problem. I will shut everything down. If something's going on, I will shut the whole day down. I'll turn my phone off, lock these doors, close these shades, and get to business to find out what the hell is going on. Who do I have to sat down, even if it's me? And 9 times out of 10, it is me that needs to be sat down because I said, oh, that's me. I gotta go. Okay, let me go clear this out real quick. Okay, and after years and years and years of practicing how to clear, how to open myself up and how to look inside myself and how to move the energy and manipulate the energy, I'm so grateful that I learned this practice of hypnosis and the way that I learned it. I didn't take a weekend class. Okay, it took me years to get this down and utilize it for myself and use it on other people. And I'm still learning stuff. I'm so grateful for this. I've come so far, very, very far. And I'm still growing. I don't know everything. Don't claim to know everything. But I know what I know. And what I know, I put it into classes because that's my purpose. That's my mission. For right now, my mission might change. May change tomorrow, but for right now, what I'm supposed to do is what I'm doing right now, right here. And sometimes I don't feel like doing it. I told y'all already, I don't really like being on here like that. But this isn't for me. This is for whomever needs to see it. And I don't care if it's just 3 people that see it. Somebody who needs to see it, go and see it. It's going to help them in some way, shape, or form. That's another form of protection. Just doing what your soul is pulling you and calling you to do instead of resisting and fighting against it. I'm good at that. I'm so good at fighting and resisting. Very good at it. If I don't want to do something, I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to do that. All right, spiritually golden. She says for her. Excellent. Happy to have you here. Happy I got on because it's a Saturday, boo. Hey, Takana. It's Saturday and I could be doing other things. I could be at the beach right now, chilling. You know what I mean? But I'm here. I was made to sat down today on this beautiful Saturn day and come with this message because people need to hear it. Okay. That's what I mean. The other form of protection is doing things that you're naturally called to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. Okay. Have you ever, I'll use myself as an example. So sometimes I'll be like ready to leave out the door, right? I'm ready to go. But then all of a sudden, something will happen and I'll be like, "Oh, I don't feel like doing that right now. Can I just do that later? Can I just do that when I get back?" And then something says, no, do it now. So I have to put everything down, stop, and go do it. It might be something like water the plants before you leave. And I'm like, can I do that when I get back? And they're like, no, do it now. So I spend 10 minutes watering the plants, talking to them, crushing up their vitamins, putting it in the water, shaking it up, and doing all that type of stuff and putting it in there, right? Which takes time, especially when I'm trying to get out the door and go do something. Usually it's to go have fun and do something, you know? So, and y'all know how us tourists are. We don't like nothing get in the way of our fun, okay? But then I'll hear or find out that there was a horrible accident, or as I'm driving by, there was a horrible accident that just happened. But I was protected from it. Why? Because I listened to my inner guidance that said, go do this now. Do it now. It didn't say, no, don't get on the road right now. You might get into an accident. So stop right now and go, what are the plans? It just said, what are the plans before you leave? That's the difference between your higher self talking to you versus the part of you that is operating off of your internal programs. Okay. See, the part of you that's operating in your internal programs is like, but why? Why I got to do it now? But the highest part of you is saying, just do it. Can you just trust that I'm telling you to do this right now? And you're like, all right. Then you get on the 10 freeway and you see a horrible, nasty 3-car pileup and there's fire everywhere. And you're like, oh my God, I hope they made it out of there. And it just happened. You know it just happened because there's no police, nobody's on the scene yet. But you stopped and you did something that you didn't feel like doing in the moment that you did it, and it protected you from something. That's your divine right to protect yourself, your divine right to listen to the highest form of you. But if you don't know what that voice sounds like and you keep ignoring it, that's part of the reason why you keep finding yourself in cycle after cycle after cycle of toxicity and things that don't feel good to you and that are not good for you. Okay. So protection comes in many different forms. It's not always you strapping up and getting ready to go out there and beat somebody's butt. It's not always you, keeping a peace on you or having uh, an alarm system installed. It's not always you running to go burn a candle either. Sometimes protection is just listening. Sometimes protection is just being still and being by yourself and taking the time out to do that. If you hear or you feel like I need to just sit down and be still, do it. That's protecting you from something. The protection might be you sitting still long enough to just hear or get a sense of or catch a vision of something that you need to do or something you don't need to do. Okay. But this is the time right now to really utilize your unseen power, okay? The internal power. It's time for you to start really utilizing that and trusting it, okay? This is the other part of protection. We hear a lot about if you get this feeling in your gut about somebody, that you automatically just cut them off. Just cut them off. Okay. I will say this, if I get a feeling in my gut about a person, the first thing I say is, okay, I need some more evidence. Show me what I need to see. And I'm going to tell you why I do that. And I'm speaking about people who are already in your life. I'm not talking about, strangers on the street, you walking down the street at night and you feel something in your gut. Child, listen to that. Okay. They'll be like, show me something else that I need to see. I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm walking down the street in downtown LA by myself and this man is behind me. But I'm not sure if that's something I need to be alarmed about. No, I'm talking about people that are in your life, that have been in your life, family, spouse, friends, clients, things like that. And you get a little feeling in your gut. This is something else. This is what I'm saying. Like, people don't dig deep enough for me. I hear the same stuff. And I'm on the internet and I'm peeping stuff and I listen to stuff, right? Because I'm also a student. I'm not just a teacher, I'm a student as well, right? So there's certain people that I do follow and I listen to because I love their messages and they go deep. They're not just telling you the little surface stuff that you get in these little 30-second clips. Everybody trying to give you relationship advice and everybody trying to, but see, this is the thing. People are not cut. It's not cookie cutter for everyone. So this is the other part of this, okay? Still talking about the protection and defense. This is the other part. You get a little feeling in your gut about somebody or wherever you get your feelings about people energetically. You automatically like, oh no, I gotta stop messing around with them because I got a feeling in my gut about them, right? But here's the other part of it. You can energetically shift what could have happened or what was about to happen to you. Like maybe that person was about to cheat or steal from you, or maybe just not show up for you in the way that you needed them to show up. Okay. And it is your divine right to cut them off if you want to. But the other part of that is you can just energetically put your shield up and trust that whatever I need to see, I'm gonna see it. Whatever I need to know, I'm gonna know it. Is now the right time for me to cut this off and walk away? And then you listen to your higher self to see what happens. Most of y'all are acting on impulse and out of fear when you automatically cut somebody off. And it doesn't mean that just because you ask that question, like, it's now a time for me to make a move. It doesn't mean that just because you hear the voice say, no, not yet. It doesn't mean that it means like a hard no, don't ever go anywhere, don't ever cut them off. What it means is no, not yet. I'll tell you when it's time to go. But I just needed you to feel it in right now, in that moment. So it may be something that you have on your radar and now you're just paying more attention to it. But maybe it's not time for you to go yet because it's something that they need to learn from you or something that you need to learn from them. It's not even about being strategic or sneaky or anything like that. What it is about being in alignment with the highest part of yourself. Because if you leave too soon, if you cut them off too soon, right, and you didn't quite catch what it was you were supposed to catch, guess what's going to happen? Somebody else is going to come around with that same energy, and they're going to be there to show you the thing that you missed in the last part. So you might as well just get it now instead of prolonging the inevitable. Okay. That's the other part of it. That's a form of protection. I know what I need to know. I know enough to say, okay. The other part of it is you can shift if you want to. This is for people that you really love, that are very close to you, and you don't want to walk away. But you also don't want to endure the bull crap either. So the first thing you do, this is another form of protection. Why am I feeling this feeling about this person? Is it something that I need to look at within myself? 9 times out of 10, it is. And if you get the nudge, like, yes, this is an opportunity. Okay, show me what I need to see for me that I need to shift. Shift that thing inside of you and then watch what happens between you and the other person. Watch how the relationship makes a 180. Just try it on. I have done this with people in my life, very, very close to me, that I knew I didn't necessarily want to cut them out, but I did want the dynamic to shift between us. Family, friends, you know. You have got to trust in your own power, and you also have to have the patience to just sit back and analyze things sometime and just be like, okay, and ask the question, because as soon as you ask the question, you're going to get the answer. You're going to get an answer. But you need to be tapped in enough to trust the answer when it comes. I had a friend, very, very much, she's very much so a woman that needs to be with a man who can take care of her. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a huge advocate for that. Okay. Huge advocate. So she manifested, you know, this person. He came along, treats her like a queen, but is not the wealthiest person in the world. Takes care of himself, treats her here and there to stuff, Don't ask her for no money, but sometimes he ain't got it like that to do the stuff that she wants to do. Immediately, she was like, oh, this ain't gonna work. And I said, well, why don't you turn within and ask that question first? Because right now that's the ego, because you had an expectation, right? And then if you listen, everybody in the world is telling women, you know, he gotta have this, he gotta have that, he gotta, da 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 da. And you absolutely, you can attract whatever you want to attract. But I said, well, wait a minute, before you cut him off. You say he treats you well, you feel good around him, he makes you feel great, he's tapped in emotionally, he has no problems with telling you how he feels, he's a man, like he's a real man. You're saying all of these things, but the only thing that is not the way you want it to be is his financial portion. I said, are you guys getting married? Did he ask you to marry? She said, no. I said, okay. Has he asked you to like lend him any money? She said, no. I said, okay, is he asking you to move in with him? She said, no. Did you have any plans on blending your finances with him in any way? And she said, no. I said, okay, so you don't really have to be afraid of anything. I said, why don't you ask your spirit team what you should do? She did. And what came back was, just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Okay. So she waits. And I tell her, I said, in the meantime, while you're waiting, anytime you start getting antsy about something or nervous about his financial situation and whether or not he's going to be able to provide for you or what have you, right? I said, every time that happens, why don't you start speaking the affirmative? that your divine masculine is wealthy, financially stable, you know, can afford to take you on the trips that you want to, everything, just speak that. Speak that. Because one or two things will happen. Either something's going to shift in this current man's life to where now more is coming in and he's going to be able to give you what you want. Or something will happen between the two of you and naturally it will just fade away. And then you're going to have somebody else come in who has all of the qualities, including the financial component, that one or the other. And as you are speaking this affirmative over your life, you're not putting any names on it, no face to it. You're just saying, my divine masculine is wealthy, financially secure, literate, generous with me with his money. Okay? That's all you're calling for. About 4 or 5 months go by. All of a sudden, this man's grandfather, I think, passed away. Left this man, I think it was like $5-6 million. And this man decides now it's time to make you my wife. Now it's time for you don't have to work if you don't want to. This man had been studying the whole time how to invest. She didn't even know. She thought he was not, she didn't know what was going on underneath the surface, right? So it's not like he just got the money and was just like, all we got is this, you know, and started spending. No, this man started investing the money. Now the money is growing for him. Told her, you don't have to work if you don't want to. She chose to keep working, right? That was her protection. Her tapping in because she didn't get what it didn't look the way she wanted it to look. She didn't just drop it automatically, right? She tapped in. Her spirit team said, just wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you don't know what's happening in the background. Just because things don't show up for you the way you think it's supposed to look immediately, it doesn't mean that things are not cooking under the surface. That's also a form of protection. You have a divine right to sit with your higher self and ask for direction. And if you're hearing, just wait. You're not always going to know why you need to wait, but you need to be able to trust that process and just hold your horses. Let's see if she would have dropped this guy and was waiting around for the one she thought was the right one, right? And then he would have, all of that would have happened and he would have been and gone and married, because you know, men, it don't take them no time to find somebody to marry. The moment you let them go or they let you go, they done got with somebody and 6 months later they married. And all of that would have happened and she would have been like, damn, something told me to wait. Okay. So I hope that this has been helpful in some way, shape, or form, that it has sparked something inside of you. I hope that if you know someone who may need to hear this word today, that you will share it with them. Okay. Again, we just started the Mystical Money Mastermind. We just started it this Thursday. I'm so excited because we have so many amazing things. Oh my God, I got so many beautiful things. I might have to extend it. It's a 12-week class. I have to actually extend it because I have so much that I want to put into this class right now. But definitely check it out. Check out the War Paint class if you feel like you need to learn more about how to navigate through spiritual warfare. I'm going to put the link to the Be Magic School in the comments for you all to take a look at. Stay tuned. I have 2 really important announcements coming up. One is that we're opening up a free day pass or free class pass, I should say, where you can come in and you can audit the Mystical Money Mastermind. Okay. And the date and the time and all of that and how to access it will be, I'm not going to put it in here now, but I'm going to be posting that soon. And then I have a very special hypnosis ritual that I'm going to be doing. I'll go live about that probably in the next couple of days, so you'll have more information about that. Yeah, enrollment is still open. Yep, Tanita, it is. Enrollment will be open So because all of the classes are recorded, and the way I do all of my classes, this was upon the request of the students, was that, can you just leave it, like, don't shut it off? They were like, don't shut it off. Just leave it going and we'll keep paying our subscription so they know how to, until they want to end it. So let's just say it's been a full 12 weeks and we're done. A lot of them want to keep having access, so they will keep paying on the subscription service until they're ready, and they can go in and manage it and turn it off when they feel like they've gotten everything. So it has been upon the request of my students to keep the enrollment open and don't close it down, because many of them some of them are still paying on other classes that we've wrapped up months ago, but they want to keep having access to it. So that was, I give the people what they want. Yeah, I give them what they want. The only class that's not like that is the hypnosis course, right? The hypnosis certification course. You do have to, if you want to enroll in that, we have to set up a meeting and talk to see if it's a good fit for you, because, you know, I need to make sure that you're a good fit for that program. So everybody can't just get into that. We do have to go through an interview process. But the other courses that are on the website, you can sign up for them whenever. But if you want to keep up with me and do the live classes where you can ask questions, and the energy is popping in the live classes. If you, a lot of students like, look, I want to do it live, so they want to make sure that they're there. Then I would say go ahead and get signed up. Now you can sign up for as little as $33 a week. You can also do $66 every 2 weeks, or you could do, what is it, like $100 and something per month. Okay, or you could pay all in full, which is $400 for that particular class. All right. But either way, okay, yeah, it's a powerful. And then the other thing too is that when you're signed up for the class, like anybody who's in the Mystical Money Mastermind group now, they get 25% off of any hypnotherapy service with me, one-on-one. If you need one-on-one time, you get 25% off, but that's only during the 12-week class, okay? All right, so I'll put everything here in the comments so you all can come back and click around and see, you know, what looks good to you. But other than that, I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you for your time.